ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. But whether you are Clydeside, Stateside, or worldwide, it's time to rise up, get Falcon set, because it's time once again to enter the locker room. Because the Scottish Falcons and friends are back once again, and we've got a new friend to introduce to you. Because as we've promised you many, many times here on AFN International, we are the voice of all the fans. And as I say, we've got a couple of very special guests on with us tonight. So before we get into any real business, I will shout out the boys. First of all, the man to my right is making his debut tonight on AFN International. So South London's own. If you don't know him, you will find him on Away Days. That's DAZE. And now from Away Days to a new home. So please, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, please give a warm red and black welcome to Dino, the newest addition to the AFNI. First off, welcome. We've been trying the last couple of days to get something in place, so we're thrilled to finally have you, mate. How's things going down south?
Yeah, everything's all good. The weather's been a bit up and down, but you know what it's like in London. But it's actually getting better now. It's meant to be better by the end of this week, so I'm hoping it picks up with some sort of heat at some point this week. So fingers crossed. But it's been good though.
And you know what? This may be the first argument on AFNI, because I don't want to hear someone from London tell a Scotsman that the weather is bad. Okay, that's a no-go. But no, as I say, thrilled to have you, man. And then down below us, we've got my namesake, brother Will, the Georgia Reaper. How you doing, my man? Glad to share the show with you again. Give the fans another willpower hour. How you doing, my boy?
Hey, what's going on, man? And I think Georgia weather got both of y'all beat right now. Shit, I don't think I seen the sun in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I heard it's storming pretty bad over there, my brother. Shout out to the chat as well, because we've got the Celtic brethren, Floyd Donnelly, down there, just giving you a nice welcome, Dean. You're gonna get plenty of that. So as I say, hopefully we're going to make this man a co-host going forward. So hopefully you're going to see a lot more of him. So hopefully if all goes well tonight, you can drop some red and black in the chat, and we can have Dean back for you. But boys, tonight was more, yeah, man. But yeah, tonight's just more about kind of setting the stage, as it were. So before we get into anything, really, I would ask Dean, why did you choose this pain? Why the Falcons?
So, well, my father lived in Stone Mountain. So I started following the Falcons from 1997. So it was at a time when UK ball wasn't as popular where it is, nowhere near as popular where it was now. I couldn't probably count how many people back in the late 90s, early 2000s actually liked or loved watching American football. It probably didn't start kicking off until probably the first international game in 2007. Then it just started picking up from there. And then by the time it got to about 2017, 2018, it got to a point where everyone who I spoke to loved American football, loved NFL in some way, shape or form, which I really like, because now to the present day, I'm now seeing people wearing anything now with any of their teams now. And that's what I enjoy seeing that, which is what I think is brilliant. So yeah,
for sure.
Been a Falcons fan since then, and yeah, I've seen pain. So
yeah, I've seen pain. Yeah. Well, you're welcome here, because as I say, wait till you hear the close. We've got you covered there, man. Don't you worry about that. And as I say, it's great to kind of bring in the British perspective and kind of kick off the British invasion a little bit, because I feel like it's more than time. Obviously, we've got our brothers in Manchester flying the flag as well with ATL Falcons UK. But Des and I have been kind of chopping it up for the last couple of years now, and we thought about why not actually give a voice to kind of all of Britain. And obviously, because me and Maggie had been working together with the guys stateside, obviously it was just kind of tag on the international, take the thing worldwide and go with it. So as I say, we're thrilled to have you on. And while we're on the subject of international sports with the World Cup coming, I do believe I owe your Gunners some congratulations too. English Premier League champions. So there you have it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
That's the thing. I try to kind of live. I'll live vicariously through you guys because I try to avoid Scottish club football. You know the reputation we have up here, especially around Glasgow.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, I need to say no more. And as I say, it's just so yeah, it's a thrill to kind of become the voice of all the fans and obviously give some love back and offer that platform that was offered up to me. So yeah, just gonna keep on pushing, and the guys in the chat seem to love it too. So let's get into it. I mean, and while we're talking about international games, boys, are either of you two planning on going to Madrid? Because as I understand it, it's time for a little bit of a Vivo España.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going. I have to go. But, I mean, I've never been. Number one, I've never been to Spain. Two, I've always wanted to go to the Bernabeu. So you know, it kind of kills two birds with one stone with that in that aspect. Plus, to get to see the Falcons again. So yeah, it's a must. It's a must, especially when it is close. You know, yeah, it's a must.
It sounds like it's going to be so fun. I wish I was coming over. The coins ain't coining in too good a way to this year to make that happen, but I can't wait to see the Dirty Birds. Man, like Des and I were dropping it up, and we want to take it in at the bends first because I want the feeling of walking down Peachtree in my kilt, like just to I can't wait. It's gonna be lit. What about you? Will you making the journey over the pond?
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna make that one, boy.
I'm sure you've got a couple in mind.
It's too early to say. It might pop. I might pop open run that time. But right now, no, I ain't thinking about going over there. But I might get some free time to pop up.
If you do, just warn us because they do that cheap cerveza. So if we need to warn the guys in advance, you let us know. We can send that. But yeah, I mean. Man. I guess the biggest talking point when it comes to the Falcons is that Drake got his bag, boys. 4-year extension worth 141, possibly as much as 150 million. But the number that sticks out to me is 100 million guaranteed. So yeah, by AVV would be the third highest paid receiver in the league. But I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. And I think it was business that had to be done and probably sooner rather than later. So I'm thrilled. Being a receiver myself, he's one of my guys. I mean, a lot of people don't rate him in the top 10. I think he's maybe top 7, top 8. So yeah, I mean, I'll pass it over to you first, Dean. I mean, how are you feeling about the Drake London signing? There's obviously a lot of narrative out here that it was an overpay, but I mean, how do you feel?
I think for me personally, I think it's deserved. Especially with the offenses that we've had over the last few years, they've been very, very average. It's like when you look at the schemes of how he played, it was very flat going forward. We weren't aggressive enough, especially in the last couple of years. Like last year was probably a little bit better, but the last couple of years before that, with 3, 7, and 10 records just spoke for itself. Our defenses were improving, but the offense wasn't. It felt like the offense was just being held back, and and it felt like when you look at him size wise, speed wise, he's a threat to anyone. No one wants to face a receiver like that. So for me, I think it's time to take the reins off him now. I've always said, and with some of the guys who I've spoken to in other Falcon groups, they said, this is a receiver who just get it to him downfield, and he'll get it, and he's proven that. Do you know what I mean? And it's been very frustrating just seeing certain plays just being done constantly with time. It just felt like nothing was happening, and the frustration. So I could probably feel this frustration with him as well. So I feel this season, I think the contract will justify it. That's what I feel. I really feel it'd be justified for him to get that contract, and I think he's going to have a good season this season.
I would agree with that. I think what I don't think a lot of people have taken into consideration as well, Dino, is that I think there's a good amount of goodwill on that because he's been producing for us with that lack of consistency from his quarterback. He's had a lot of different quarterbacks over his career as well. So I feel like it's like we're paying an idealistic contract in a way, but I feel like he more than deserves it, and he'll prove that this year. How about you, Will? I know we went over this a few nights ago, but just remind the people, I'm sure you're thrilled as well because I know Drake's one of your guys.
Well, I'm not big on paying dependent position $35+ million a year. You know what I'm saying? But I believe it was more like of a appreciation type pay. Like we appreciate, the stuff you done for us. You know what I mean? Even though you ain't had the greatest situation, I appreciate that type. You know what I'm saying? But the way that Atlanta got it structured, it doesn't hurt us either. So it made it great for the player and it made it great for the team. So he only counted for 11.7 of the salary cap. You know what I mean? So you still got plenty of money to do whatever you need to do with other players. But he's well deserving of his bag. But I think we could have got him cheaper. But like I said, I think it was an appreciation type pay. And like man, it's cool. I'm cool with it now, the way they got it structured out. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about the guaranteed money. The guaranteed money is $100 million. So basically you break it down 4 years, $100 million. That's $25 million a year. That's what's really hurting you. That's what's really gonna be coming off your book. They always can go back to the contract and renegotiate and redo it and push money to the front so it can take off the cap. You know what I'm saying? So always ways you can tweak that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to seeing how they can kind of finesse it this offseason because when we get into it a little bit later on, I've got one or two. I like to play devil's advocate a little bit. It's my show, damn it. So I'm going.
Hey, you can do what you want to do.
I'm going to throw a couple of free agents for you a little bit later on. But before we get into anything else, shout out down to Alan in the chat. It's another one of our Scottish birds who we're hoping to have on the show soon. So we shouted them out in the chat tonight to make sure he obviously knows it's appreciated. And I mean, well, pass it out to the people and let them know because you want to make this man feel welcome when he comes over. He'll be in the ATL for the Bears game. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get to the minute home game I can this year. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. As many home games I can, I'm trying to get to them.
Like, I hope that they're well attended because one thing that Des and I have said, and it can only mean so much coming from a fan overseas, but for the amount of love that, I'm sure I can speak for Dino as well in this one, but I know I speak for Des when I say that we live vicariously through you guys. So it's so disappointing for us to watch from Britain and see you guys leaving before the clock reads all zeros. Like, if we came over, we are not leaving till it's over, man. You know what I mean?
I like that ATL251 comment. I like that.
I'm just pulling that up.
ATL251.
Got it. Got plenty of money to pay Bijan.
He's tweaking that morning, man. The running backs are not getting paid like that. Ain't no way Bijan finna get more than Drake London.
I don't think we have to give him more than Drake. As long as we give him more than Jameer Gibbs, we should be set.
If you're talking about overall contract, I don't think so. Per year type, no. He might get more guaranteed money. I give you that. He might get more guaranteed money than Bijan, than Drake. But as far as year average, he's not getting more than Drake London.
I don't
see that. Simple fact, running back's not making that much money right now. The highest paid running back right now is $20 million, and shit, you can get a below average wide receiver right now at $20 million. So the way it's looking, so yeah. But I get you if you're talking about guaranteed money. I see what you're talking about right there, ATL251. But as far as overall contract, no, I don't see that.
And then you obviously chop into the mix the fact that we are going into 2027 in a much better cap position than we are now. So there is every reason for us to push Bijan down the road a little bit. But I feel like the deal will get done. And again, it's going to come down to goodwill because Bijan's pretty much been the heart and soul of this offense the last 2 seasons, essentially.
Well, it don't hurt you right now if you do give him a contract right now. It don't hurt you. It's not going to be active until like 2 years down the line. This one got the contract he on now got the end before that one begins. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna hurt you right now. You can still sign them right now if you want to. You want the thing you want to do. You want to get in front of Jameer Gibbs because the
Mhm.
Lions gonna try to throw him the bag.
Oh
They've
yeah,
been known to just
definitely. Yeah,
throwing money at players. So you want to get in front of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I've been a big proponent of like paying players like top 10 money and they
Hmm.
position if they earned it and put the rest on the incentives. So say for instance, if the top player like wide receiver wide, I would did what I would did with Drake London.
Hmm.
I would have gave him, hey, I'm gonna give you 30 million with a chance to make 35 million with in incentives. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
would have set it up like that. But the way that's got it set up, it ain't hurting the Falcons. It's still just like 11 point set, like I said, 11.7% of the salary cap. So you got plenty of room to sign whoever else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
that's
mean,
just
we
the
can
way I would have
throw.
came at it. Yeah, that's the way I would have came at it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I mean, we can throw that back when you talk about 11.7%. I mean, at the last check, I think 60% of the cap for our opponents in Madrid, Cincinnati, is going on 3 players. So, like, let that fall where it may. You're paying your QB and your 2 wide receivers, essentially 60% of your whole team's money, and then you wonder why you can't stop teams. You can go out and score 48, but they're going to score 49 because you can't stop them. So, I mean,
Hmm.
there's a lot to be said for obviously spreading your money about in the right way. And as ATL251 says, and I'm inclined to agree, 21, 22 million a year, I'm not too mad at that at all. I'll take that for a player
That's
of
some great
Bijan's
contract.
caliber.
That's
Oh
better.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
better than a lot of folk
That'd be
talking about
great.
25. Like I be telling folk,
Yeah.
why bid against yourself? If the
Hmm.
highest
Mm.
paid running back is making 20 million, I ain't got to do nothing but throw another million on there. Now, guess what? Bijan the highest paid running back. Why do I need to
Hmm.
jump to
No.
25, 26 million? That makes no
Exactly.
sense.
And then you
You know what
throw
I'm
into the
saying? And you
mix
know what
as
I
well.
do? I give
What's
them,
that?
I give them like a 22 million a year contract, 88
Hmm.
million total,
Yeah.
all of it guaranteed. Just
Hmm.
like that.
So you let you
All of
let
it
you let
guaranteed.
you let the other team, you let the other teams, the other franchises work on that. Because I actually read that today. Like, if because whatever you offer him, the deals for running backs in the future are going to be big after that.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
other running backs are going to look at that and think, well, hold on a minute, if he's getting that, then so this is where I need to be smart. Because if we can just like you say, if you just give him 21 or even
Hmm.
20, other teams like Detroit and Seattle will just look at it and feel, oh, okay, well, okay, we're gonna have to like offer. They'll be the ones who'll be offering 25, 25
Hmm.
going on. The one thing you don't want to be, a lot of teams out there just don't know how to handle it. There's a lot of teams out there for some unknown reason just don't know how to structure and budget their money.
Yeah.
There's certain teams out there who have done it with their quarterbacks, like Cleveland and Dallas. I don't even want to go on about what them two have done, but my goodness
Hmm.
me, you're just hurting yourself with what they've done if you ever do something like that. If you're running backs, especially running backs by right, you get good well, four,
Hmm.
5, 6, maybe 7 years out of them. By the time they get to 30, they're so busted up. You know, you're going to be looking for the next one coming along. So you don't want to be offering too much when it goes over the bar of 20 million. So 2021 would actually be good as well for me as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I would be happy with that. As I say, we also have the caveat that Bijan wants to be here. I think he wants
Yeah.
to be a career Falcon. So I think we go like, now we're going to come in, we're going to reset the market at 22. We don't really want you worrying about what's happening in Detroit because at the end of the day, we're building something here and you're a cornerstone of that. And I feel like that
Yeah.
will go a long way to maybe saving us a little mill or two as well. And I've got a good
Yeah.
point here again from Alan, just asking. He thinks we've got 40 plus million dead cap going away. Yeah, it's not all on Cousins. It's broken down. I think I did it a couple of shows ago. You can go back and check on that. But I did a full breakdown just of what is getting paid. But yeah, we're paying 43 million this year in dead cap.
Yeah, the
Um,
next year we're gonna have 125 to 145 million dollars in cap space. So
Mm.
we're gonna have
Yeah,
plenty of
that's
money next year.
healthy.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
very
think
healthy.
everybody pretty much waiting on to see what the Falcons gonna do with Bijan because he was the best back in the league. So if he gets what he get, you ain't got to pay your running back over what Bijan get because he was the top back in the league last year. So you ain't got to pay over Bijan. That's
yeah.
a
Mm.
negotiation tactic they can use, and that when they bringing their running backs to the table, you know what I mean. So I think in between like Bijan and Jameer Gill, that's what the league waiting on pretty much. You know what I'm saying? They gonna set the bar. and they're gonna go from there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Someone in the comments is trying to say that it's the 28th of March. I think you're a little bit late, mate. This is now June.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
I yawn on comments like this.
No, it's
man.
just people mixing up the date. That's all it is.
You gave him his 2 seconds of fame. That's what he wanted. He wanted the 2 seconds of fame. You gave it to him. It's all good.
You know what? We accommodate here. As long as you ain't repping that fleur de lis, we'll be just fine. But any of the other 30 franchises, you'll be just nice. But yeah, I mean, talking about it all, I know that there was some divisive comments on X, and I don't know if you boys have seen the post. But yeah, I mean, Mark Zeno did echo some of what you were saying, Will. Just basically how he didn't want to. I'll bring it up just now. I've been staunchly against paying wide receivers this kind of money for a while now. It's poor cap management. The Falcons should have paid Bijan first. The whole world commonly thinks paying running backs is a bad move. Not in the case of Bijan, who is special, very special. Definitely more special at running back than Drake is at wide receiver. None of this is about...
He talking out his ass right now anyway. Zeno.
I feel like he did backtrack a little bit though by then going on to say, no, this isn't about, like, he deserves it. But what I'm saying is I don't think paying... It's like, well, what is it you're saying? Are you saying he deserves it or you can't pay him?
You don't want to pay Drake London money, then come back and say you want to pay Bijan over the top money when you ain't got to do that. Why? Why reset the market with Bijan? Come on, man.
It's all rage based.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Like, Dino's got it. Like, they're trying to rage bait us. Never respected him in media.
That's what happened with Thomas Dimitrov. When you start throwing around money like that, that's what happened with Thomas Dimitrov. We got in the situation with Thomas Dimitrov because he was just throwing around all the money, paying everybody all this instead of controlling the salary cap. He was just throwing money. No, we don't want to do that. You don't want to bid against yourself. Like I said, why bid against yourself? You ain't got to.
Yep.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not like when you're talking about saving money, that kind of brings us on to the next topic as well. Because I mean, Bijan doesn't have to be priority number one, as we say. You can take a little bit of time because you've got that freedom. But if he's not, then you've got a lot of contracts. I'll flash them up now because I've got the offensive and defensive pending free agents, and it's quite a list, to be fair. So there you go. You've got both Brian Robinson, Tyler Goodson on 1-year deals, Dylan Drummond, Kyle Pitts, Austin Hooper, Charlie Werner, Ryan Nuzzel, Joanne Taylor, Matthew Bergeron. And then you come into the defensive side. Of course, you've got JB3. You've also got guys like Clark Phillips, Divine Diablo. Of course, you've got the 1-year guys as well, Darnay Holmes, Channing Tindall, guys like that. So it's quite a long list. And I feel like a lot of that's going to be dependent. But I mean, outside of really Pitts, Bates, and Diablo, is there any of those names that really stick out to you, Dean, as guys that you would want to retain, or do you think a lot of it's going to depend on the season to come?
I don't know. I think it's going to, for me, I have to see how the season is going to go. I mean, I know we've got a very, very, very tough schedule, arguably. For me, it's a case of just seeing how they go. Because, like, you know, the 1-year deals are just there to just say, okay, let's see how you do. And if it works out, then they may offer again. We'll see how it goes. But I think we're just going to have to see how that, just wait on those 1-year deals. I think because there's quite a few of them on the 1-year deal, aren't there? So, I mean, me personally, I'll just say, look, go into the season, see what happens. And because we've got that healthy salary cap for next year, then we can maybe look at who we can then bring in and go from there. That's what I feel anyway. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because, as you say, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when I pass it down to you, my knowledge, the only 2 players who weren't signed to 1-year deals was Jahan Dotson and Nick Folk, the kicker. Outside of that, I think everyone that we brought in is on a 1-year deal. Well, is there any names that are sticking out to you outside of the obvious 3 as guys that you've got your eye on to maybe look at extending, or are you in the same kind of boat with us? Are you waiting to see how it all goes?
I really think we're going to pretty much sign everybody who earned it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we see you being a big part of this team, we're gonna get you a new contract right now. Like Diablo, if he come and do what he need to do, we're going to sign him. We're going to sign Jesse if Jesse continue to stay on that same platform that he been on. We're gonna sign Pitts. If Pitts come out and just show that he can be a consistent tight end, well, he's gonna get a
Yeah.
check. He gonna get a check from. So like we got the money to sign who we want to sign. You just got to be cautious of how you use this salary cap. I mean, I've seen too many years when the Saints be red, and you know what I'm saying. And they find way to sign players. I don't want to hear nothing about we can't sign nobody. We're gonna be in 125, 145 million next year. I don't want to hear
That's
that, bro.
right.
I've seen
Yeah.
too many
Absolutely.
teams who was in salary cap here come and sign players. Come out and just sign player, bro. You got to know how to maneuver that salary cap. And if you draft the right players, you ain't drafting selfish motherfuckers who want a bag and don't care about their teammates. We ain't drafting them type of player. You drafting somebody who gonna respect being top 10 in their position, getting paid like that, and know that the team needs to build a team. You ain't the only one on the team. You got a team that they got to build. So if you
Yeah.
draft right and you know how to maneuver that book, you'll succeed. No problem. Boss lady in the building. Boss lady.
That's it. Our sister from another mister. What's happening, Miss Maggie T? First
How
lady
you
in the
doing?
house. Hope
It's
you had
been
a
a
great
minute,
birthday
guys.
week. It
I've
has.
been, I've been busy. Of course, birthday turn up all week last week. Shout out to everybody that did show up. I am still taking cash apps, and I threw a couple dollars at some stuff. It's unnamed,
Oh,
and
did you really? Did you really?
Let's just quickly check the watershed. Nah, you're good.
that's it's
You
allowed to
need to stop.
everybody. So you know
Did you
how that
clean? Did
goes.
you clean off your camera lens? You cleaned it off?
Oh
What's
dear.
going on, chat? What's going on, everybody? You already know I'm Miss Maggie
Good, good,
T.
good.
I've been extremely busy though. I guess I'm interrupt y'all because I don't know where you at anyway. But
No, not at all. We're just chatting off season. It's good to have you. As I say, we've been awaiting your comeback and all the stories of your escapades from the week. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay.
As I say, your boy's been grinding in the background. So we have a lot of new guests, and it was time to get my good brother down south on and get the band-aid off. So I mean, we tore it off good and proper for you. I mean, it can go south real quick, but as I say, if you're in for a bit of fun, then we're glad to have you.
And I want to update you guys on it because lately I have been MIA for a while. As people know, if you've watched this channel, this is 6 years in for Atlanta Falcons Nation. My biggest goal has always been I want to be radio. And start pushing our shows to a different network outside of YouTube. Well, I am now back into my event hosting. And with that, I've networked. And now I am partnered with a sports media production company, KB Sports Media. They are connected to 100.9 The Blaze. And I have been asked to actually have a show on. She's partnered with Roku TV and Fire TV. So this is me trying to get now kind of branch into my journalist skill set. Just because I'm trying to now be a little bit more interview. I'm trying to get a media passes and things like that, where I've been doing interviews with former players, all content creators as well. But it's time for me to kind of polish my skills. I've actually dipped and dabbed in some radio recently, where I was actually on the radio talking about the Falcons. So with this, I will be doing a different type of interview. This is just a tester, a teaser, because I kind of have to get my name out there as a solo interview host. I will have Michael Turner on tonight, Mr. Burner, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be interviewing him. And we're going to be talking about his appearance for the NFL draft, just his relationship with the Falcons now, and just his show, his podcast with OV as well. So great connection, great person. And, he's invited back. So if you want to go back and watch the previous episode, please do. And go check out our interviews of the past of a lot of former players and journalists, if you will. But I just want to just give a shout out to everybody, and appreciate all the support from my panel, the fans. You guys helped me get here. So it's definitely a transition. It's a lot busier being actually starting to be in media. But I'm loving every moment of it.
We're glad to hear that you're keeping on, sister. And for what it's worth, from the guys here doing the panels while you have been MIA, it's been an absolute pleasure holding things down. And as I say, it's been a pleasure taking the reins on of AFN International also. So as I say, shout out to England, shout out to Germany, and shout out to Mexico, because those are the kind of markets that I'm active in right now. So as I say, we're trying to get some Spanish language stuff going real soon. As I say, we've got the British invasion already rolling there with my boy down in the southeast corner there. So yeah, things are going well. And as I say, when you're talking about journalists, we've also got John Frick coming on soon, and we've also got Daniel Flick as well. So yeah, a lot of good things coming down the pipeline as well. But yeah, as for tonight, we are just kind of chopping it up about the off season, and you got some congratulations here from our brother, Dr. Dirtybird. If you want to jump on, Raymond, you're more than welcome. As I say, it's an all family affair tonight, so let me just check these topics.
Gonna have them credentials, man. Gonna have them credentials.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So I mean, let's get into OTAs then, guys, and why don't we let the new blood kick it off? So before we do, I've got a couple of guys that I wanted to shout out as well. It's names that you guys have heard before, but from OTAs, the two that are standing out for me is obviously Zachariah Branch for what he can give you offensively, and also with Ryan Newsel being on that 1-year deal. Maybe it's a little bit early to say, but I mean, we've got James Brockermeyer nipping at his heels too, so there's a couple of names that have stood out to me. I think you're more of a defensive guy, Dino, so maybe you're going to shout out those linebackers. I'm not sure, but I mean, who's standing out to you so far?
I was going to say Branch as well. I'm just hoping with him, again, this is going back a while back, I'm just hoping that we don't make the same, that he doesn't do the same mistake as what Calvin Ridley did. I'm just hoping that we have someone there now who can just add something a bit more. But he's looking. I like his desire as well. He's the one that stuck out for me more or less.
Yep, and what excites me as well. Well, I know you're a bit of an edge guy in your playing days as well. So what I would put to you is, who's going to be your Mike? Because there's so many versatile guys. I mean, that's what I'm going to throw out to you, brother, because I know you like to watch the D. Who's your Mike?
You say who my Mike?
Yeah, with all those linebackers and all the great things they can do.
It's got to be Harris right now. He got to be the front runner before anything gets started. I think he got the front runner seat, and I think it's going to be heavy competition at that position, because we brought in a lot of great linebackers that can play the position. It's all about health with these guys that we brought in. Can they stay healthy? Now, if they can stay healthy, we're going to have a filthy rotation of LBs coming through. And I think we're going to rotate the hell out of this defense this year. Everybody get rotated. I'm talking about fresh bodies everywhere. It's going to be like a hockey lineup out there. I can see it going on. So, hey, man, like, I'm really excited to see us in preseason, training camp and preseason. I want to see how these guys sustain. It's all about health, like with Trice, with Anderson. It's all about health. And with Mr. Megatron Head, he got to put up a shut up this year. JD Bertrand got to put up a shut up. He gonna either come out to play or he gonna be gone.
Well, shout out to the comment earlier. I mean, I know he was top of the list of guys to trade because he's, as they say, the best ability is availability, and he's not been very, very present for us. I feel like we would like to retain Trice, because I feel like he's going to surprise a lot of people once he comes back, assuming he is healthy. I feel like a lot of guys are also sleeping on Azeez Ojulari, because that dude's a stud as well. Ms. Maggie's
like I was saying, it was just health. It was just health with him. Like it's all about health with a lot of these guys. Ojulari was a beast down in New York, man. So like, if he can stay healthy, it's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, man, sky's the limit. And that's what I like. It's a lot of guys who have been hampered in some sort of way or other. A lot of the times it's been injuries, but sometimes it's just been inconsistent play, and we've been able to get them for essentially bargain deals, because I'm quite happy with the money we're paying Jahan Dotson. I mean, I know he has issues separating and things like that, but I mean, for the money that we're paying him, and then Tua Tagovailoa coming in on vet minimum, $1.3 million. So thanks, Miami. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, let's kind of dive in and talk about Tua, because he is the other elephant in the room, so to speak. So I know a lot of guys are obviously feelings in one way or other, but obviously I'll put it out to you boys and see how you feel. But I mean, do you think there's going to be a defined QB1 by the time that we get to the regular season, or do you think we'll see both?
Again, I was reading something earlier this afternoon. The coaches during OTA were saying that it's still a bit early to say who they're going to pick, because Penix is still coming in from his injury. I know they said that they have him doing 7-on-7s at the moment, but the one thing we don't want to do is rush this guy back from that injury. He's had 4 of them already in like the past how many years, and I think they'll go with. I think they'll go with Tua, and I think one of my boys said it. I think in our group as well. I think he said when it gets to about week 6 or 7, they may go with Penix. But at this moment in time, when you look at both of them, it's a tough one. One from my group is where he's a Dolphins fan, and he had Tua there, and he's like, yeah, it was time. And it is I mean, you can see why they gave him a 1-year deal anyway. But I think they'll go. I think they'll go with Tua initially. But I'm looking more further forward. I'm thinking, are we going to draft a quarterback next year? I don't know, because of their history of how they both are. It's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. And then add into the mix. I mean, if you're going to take a quarterback in the draft, it's not a bad year to do it. It's 2027. That's a strong class of QBs.
Yeah. So it's a difficult one, but I think they'll go with Tua first. We have to see how Penix will do when it gets to preseason. It's still going to be a bit of a while, because that injury happened back in November.
Yeah, November.
And here we are now. 7 months later? I mean, those type of injuries there. I mean, to see him actually be immobile with it is actually very, very good for what that injury is. It's most of the time it takes a year to get over those things there. So to see him, that is encouraging. But I think by preseason we'll have an idea. But right now, I'd go into it. I'd say.
I think I would agree with that. I think when I say in the topic heading there that we need to remain open to all possibilities, I feel like we are going to see both at some point this season. My biggest concern was not throwing Mike Penix in too early. Obviously, because we see Miami in pre-season, we know that they don't have the best of fields. So I don't want him playing in Miami, I would say. I would maybe give him time in the second game. And if he's not sure, or if he's physically struggling, then we know, right, we'll give you maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks, see how Tua does, and we'll kind of take it from there. So I can definitely see that narrative. But as you say, I mean, they're trying to keep it kind of under wraps. I understand coach speak and all that stuff, but they're saying great things about both guys. I mean, they're saying Mike Penix is hitting all milestones, and they're saying that Tua has God-given ability, and those aren't my words; those are straight from Coach Stefanski as well. And Will, what's your thoughts on the QB1 battle as well? Who do you think it'll be, or do you agree with? Do you think there's going to be a little bit of both?
Right now, I think it's Penix's job to lose right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking if the competition anywhere near close, they're gonna go with Penix. But the only way I see Penix losing the job if he's not healthy, or if he just look terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like terrible. And by the reports I'm hearing, he's looking well, and he's way ahead of schedule. So I'm really thinking it's going to be Penix right now. And I think we fare better if Penix win the job, because now you have a veteran tutor on the bench behind him also that's only making $1.2 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To back him up in case anything happened, even though you don't want to go into this season thinking about injuries. Like a lot of these folks keep talking about injuries and both of these. No, one thing we know about football, you are guaranteed to get injured. That's one
Yep.
thing we know. That's why you prepare. That's why you prepare in the off season to have capable backup, just in case anything happens. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
can't sit here and be scared to play football because of injuries. That's when you get injured. When you play scared to get injured, you get injured. You know what I'm saying? How many non-contact injury we saw? We're seeing about 4
Sadly,
of
too
them this
many.
year already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can get injured anyway. You can step out the shower wrong and you got no slip a hamstring or pull something. You know what I mean? So like
Oh,
it's
tell me
so
about it,
many
especially
ways.
when you get up there in age, man. Into your
Man,
30s, it starts to hurt.
so many ways you can got doing. Man, I sprained my ankle a couple years ago walking my dog. It's so many ways you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So like
Exactly, man.
injuries gonna happen. The thing you do is prepare, and that's what Ian Cunningham had done. He raised the floor. So if any injuries or anything happen, we got guys that can step in and we don't miss a beat. So yeah, right.
That's
Like
it.
I said, like I think Michael Penix is the front runner right now. If he play anything close to like competent quarterback play and on neck and neck with Tua, he's gonna win the job.
Yeah, and as you say, it's not a game that you can play and not get hurt. Trust me, like playing it up to like 26, 27, I felt absolutely amazing. Playing into my 30s, that was a different game because now I'm 35 next month. I wake up in the morning and I remember those 9 years of football. They come back every morning just to remind me. But it's not. I wouldn't change it for the world. That's the game we love, but. Yeah, you do pay a heavy cost for it sometimes. I'll say that much. And as I say, it's been a great show so far, guys. I hope you're having fun. I know I am. But yeah, let's keep the good talk rolling. So this is what I was talking to you guys about earlier. So I know we've been talking a lot about wide receivers, because I've stated on.
Side note right now, man.
Dive in, Will.
Terrible sportsmanship by the New York fans, man. I'm seeing clips everywhere. They jumping on these Spurs fans after they lost. That is crazy, man. What kind of sportsmanship y'all got going on? Can't nobody come watch a game that cheering for another team? Y'all that petty. Y'all want to sit there and jump on a fan because your team lost. What kind of sportsmanship y'all got going on over there, bro? Y'all finna cost y'all city so much money it ain't funny.
That's some of that that's some of that European soccer sportsmanship. We've seen that before, haven't we, Dino?
Oh yeah, y'all serious about y'all soccer now. Hey, that's y'all serious about y'all soccer.
You're in for some trouble, man. You've got Scotland and England on the way.
But they can come watch a soccer game at y'all stadiums. Only time they get jumped at y'all stadium if they talk shit after y'all team that lost. Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, if they talk shit or if they don't get around in when it's their turn to get around, that's the only two ways where things can go down, I suppose. But no,
I just had to mention that. I'm seeing them on the feed. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's a bad look all around. It's like when you're trying to put yourself across as like a mecca to international fans as Boston, as New York and Boston area is right now. That's where the Tartan Army's based. We are coming out of Providence right now because our first two games are up in Boston. So yeah, it's kind of right on our doorstep, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, there's a great Scots-Irish contingent over in Boston, so I'm sure we'll be well received. For what I can see, it's been pretty fun so far. What I worry about is going down to Miami in that heat and playing Brazil. That's going to be a different game.
Yeah, that's going to be naughty.
Yeah, bad things happen to Scotsmen when you push it above 20 degrees Celsius. Oh, and we've got some points here from Raymond. He's saying the team's always going to cheer for Penix over Tua. I feel like that because as Ian Cunningham said, it's draft, develop, retain, and that's our guy versus a guy who we know is going to come in for 1 year. And he made the mistake of saying that football is a part-time job. Not really what you want to say when you've just been brought into a new team. but I kind of, or maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I don't know.
Part-time job. Jeez, football's a year-round thing.
Yeah,
It's a
and that's
year-round thing.
even for us. So, and we're not even getting up anymore. So I mean, let that fall at me. Don't be trying to throw in heat here. I promise not to get too bravehearted with these guys. Come on, Raymond. Be better, brother. This is the IHOP of AFN. This is the International House of Punditry. How dare you come in here and start causing heat? I won't allow it. But no, man. What else have we got? I mean, yeah, free agents. I digress a little bit, but no, I know a lot of what the talk's been free agent wise has been in regards to receiver, at least from me. That's the position I played, so that's mainly where I'm looking, and I feel like bringing Zachariah Branch in, he's so versatile, but he's really competing to be wide receiver 3. I feel like Dotson's going to be your 2. I feel like outside of that, I like Olamide Zaccheaus. It's good to have him home, all that great stuff. I'm not fully convinced by Chris Blair. I feel like letting Nick Nash go to Washington was criminal. That's just kind of how I felt with that. But I felt like bringing in one more pass catcher would be great. Although, shout out to Trace Moustakis, Big Moose. He gave me a name that I hadn't really thought of yet. And it shows up this offensive line because, as I've said to you guys before in various chats, I'm not convinced either by Joanne Taylor. I know he came from a Super Bowl winning team, but let's keep it 100. He was the weak link on that chain. So here's what I would propose. He's a right tackle, 2-time Pro Bowler. He comes from Stefanski's scheme in Cleveland, and also his second Pro Bowl in 2020 was under the tutelage of Bill Callahan. So I feel like we couldn't go wrong by bringing in this man right here, Big Jack Conklin. I feel like he's proven himself consistently to a higher degree than Joanne Taylor, but we would still have Joanne Taylor on a 1 year for depth. So that's kind of my take right now. If there was one guy I could go for, I would probably say Jack Conklin. So, Dino, have you been keeping your eyes on the free agent market?
To be honest, I haven't really been looking in the last few weeks in free agency. But if someone like that is available who has worked under Stefanski before, if the chemistry is already there, then why not? You know, these boys are the ones who you have to get into cohesion first. You know, them offensive linemen are the ones. You know, they don't get as much recognition, like I've always said to people. They're the ones who, for all the novices out there who don't watch, that you can see all your wide receivers and your running backs. But those are the guys you have to be faithful for more than anyone. They do the job and they go home. That's just them. So if you've got someone like that who's worked with Stefanski and he's got the history there and he knows what's going to be made of him and what to expect, someone like that would actually be a pretty decent one to bring in, I would say.
Yep. I think so, particularly because he would then go on to be, I know he's only, I think, 28, 29 years old, but he would essentially come in right beside Chris Lindstrom. They would be the guys who would mentor the young line coming up as Jake Matthews gets up into close to retirement, because I feel like that would be what we are ideally looking for. I feel like I said this on a previous show, our backup offensive line, if we were to play them, would still be pretty stout. You would be looking at Jack Nelson at left tackle. Your left guard would be Ethan Onianwa, swing guard, that we took out at Ohio State this year. You'd have Cam Dewberry on right guard. You'd have James Brockermeyer at centre. And then you'd have Riley Malman at right tackle. That's a stout offensive line. 3 Big Ten guys, 2 SEC, all of them starting caliber coming out of college. So, yeah, I feel like another good reason for that would be that he would give you that mentorship role off of the right side, which ironically enough is also the blind side because you've got 2 left-handed quarterbacks. So I feel like there's a lot of ways that can work. How about you, Will? What are you thinking in terms of free agency? Have you had a look over the last few days? Is anyone sticking out to you? and please don't say Stephon Diggs, because I may have to kick you.
Personally, I don't think we're gonna sign no big name players at this point until we see what we got when we get these pads on.
Yeah.
Once we get the pads on and when the men start separating from the boys, then that's the time I think you'll see moves. You know what I mean? If guys turn out not to be who you thought they were when we throw these pads on, then you start making moves to try to better your team. But I don't think we're gonna see nothing right now.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like a lot. Yeah, pardon my French, guys in the chat, but I don't shirk around stuff like this. I feel like we're all pissing in the wind a little bit. Especially,
we want to see what we got. We got to see what we got because we just making moves just to be making moves at this point. You got to see what you got first.
Yep, and we need to find out situationally where everyone's going to be. Is AJ Terrell going to be your CB2 or is he going to be your slot? How are you going to utilise Kyle Pitts? There's a lot of different X factors coming into the season, but I can't remember an off season.
And that's something you had said too right there. That's something you said right there, like with Avion, where they're gonna place him. I think a lot of people forgetting how good Mike Hughes was. I mean, besides being injured, people forget that they was going to AJ side more times last year than they was Mike Hughes, because Mike Hughes was locking shit down.
Yeah.
See, but that's what we do. We get new things in Atlanta, and we forget about stuff we already had on the roster type. You know what I'm saying? Let's be patient. Let's get your popcorn ready. Let's watch what's going on.
Yeah. Instead of looking always to the shiny and fresh, like it ain't always got to be like that. But yeah, I completely agree. I feel like a lot of it's speculation, and but at the same time, I can't remember an off-season process, at least over the last maybe 4 or 5 years, where I felt this excited. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and as I say, I hope you guys are going to be here to join me a lot more often going into the season, because we've got a lot of good content coming forward. But yeah, I mean, we've spoken a lot about the roster, but how about these coaches? Because as you guys probably know, Jeff Ulbrich was accepted and went and participated in the NFL Accelerator program. So it looks as though he's scouting to be either a head coach or a GM somewhere. If that does happen, I wish him all the best. I mean, he's had a phenomenal tenure in Atlanta. I'm glad to hold on to him for one more year. But if the worst should occur, guys, who are you looking at for potential replacements? Because I've got two for you. One obvious, one maybe not so obvious. But for me, I'd go probably the low-hanging fruit there would be Nate Ollie. He's done a great job with that defensive line. But I'd second that with Barrett Rood, who's our inside linebackers coach. And I feel like, obviously, we've seen with Caden Ellis and guys like this, Divine Diablo as well, how well he can do that. So I'd be interested to see what he does with a full defense. Dino, how do you feel about that? Have you got any other candidates that maybe you've got your eye on if the worst should occur? I mean, ideal world, you retain Jeff, but
I think I'm pretty sure I'm sure I saw today that he stayed. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I'm sure. I have to look that up.
We've got him for this year.
But he stayed for this year. So
yeah.
Again, I think because I think it's going to be the same thing. I think with on the field, I think like we're going to have to see how fit. I think this is going to be a season of how things go. I think that there's going to be, for me anyway. I've always like said with us when people ask me the expectancy of what we would do. I always said, look, let's try and get 9 wins, 9, 10 wins. I'm very optimistic when it comes to that. So when I see 3, 7, and 10 records in a row, and then we get what we got last year, I'm like, okay, we're kind of improving a little bit. But I think this season is a case of let's see where we are after that, and then see where we go. Because I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, if I'm being honest.
I think I haven't really looked outside either, to be honest. That's why my guys are going to promote from within. Outside of that, I'm sure there's a lot of good candidates, but like, the heart wants what the heart wants, and I would prefer Coach Ulbrich to remain here. But as I say, you know how the business be. It's kind of, they don't owe us nothing sort of thing. So Well, you got any more candidates for us? I know you're a big Nate Ollie guy, coming from a defensive line school yourself, but I mean, is there anyone else that you've maybe got your eye on, even if it's from another team? I mean, do you think there's someone else who could come in here and maybe do a better job or help shore up this defense a little bit more?
Well, in the case of if Jeff Ober get the opportunity to get a job at head coach next year, I think they got a couple of guys already in place. I think they preparing situation like that. If Nate Ollie wants to be a defense coordinator, I think he's gonna be top of the line, top of the notch. And they got the defensive coordinator from the Browns last year. I think that's another top notch guy.
Yeah.
His name's slipping my head right now. I forgot his name. God damn. But
I'm right there with you because his name's on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember. But I
yeah.
know
I think that'll
exactly
be.
who you're on about.
But I think we got things in place. I think we got things in place, in just in case he gets that opportunity. But we got to think. A lot of teams don't look at like, hey man, when he got that opportunity to be a head coach, he really didn't fare well. So we might not lose our defensive coordinator, but just in case we do lose him to a job, I think we'll have a guy already in place, already in line. So I'm not too worried about it because I like the mindset of our front office and our head coach right now. They all in cahoots, and I think they pretty much have something in place in case we face that you know what I'm saying, dilemma in the future.
And I feel like it's definitely something that this coaching staff is leaning towards. You know, there's a lot of top-down accountability that wasn't there before in the previous scheme. With Matt Ryan, with Ian Cunningham, even with Alex Van Pelt, he's been working a lot with Matt. I mean, you saw Matt down there throwing passes. You can't ask for more kind of team solidarity than that. Because for a little minute, I was going to say if number 1 and number 9 can't go, I'm sure we've still got a number 2 jersey kicking about there somewhere. Have you got a year left in you, Matt? But no, I mean, it's all fun and games, but I mean, realistically, it's great to see him down there, kind of building from the top down, bringing back some legends as well. Because as I said, one way you could obviously shore up Kyle Pitts is to bring in a Tony Gonzalez to work with him. Same way you brought in Roddy White to work with the receivers. There's a lot of I know Matt's got a lot of guys he can call in a pinch. So yeah, I'm excited to see obviously where we go from here and kind of let the chips fall where they may. And yeah, I mean, we did say 10 wins would be a good threshold to have for the season. So with that being said, I mean, I think what it boils down to is how we compete in the NFC South. Because I do have a little visual to flash up here, and it's the NFC South champions the last 20 seasons. Now, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know about you boys. Not nearly enough red and black for my liking.
There's too much gold in that picture.
Disturbing amount. But yeah, that's something I've been saying plenty as well. Is before we worry about playoffs, we need to worry about regaining the crown, showing people that we're kings of the South again, and letting them know that if you want it, you're going to have to come to Atlanta and take it. That's my feelings. But yeah. And can we go 6-0? I don't think so. I think Carolina's improved too much. I think they're going to take a win from us. I don't know about Tampa Bay. I'm going to give them one in a slip up by us. So I'll say we probably go 4-2 in the South. But I think that's going to be enough to take it. How about you, Dino? What do you think? Do you think we can walk the South this year, or do you think it's?
I don't think we. I mean, the one thing that we always have. When it comes to going away to New Orleans, just don't hold your breath. For some unknown reason, we just don't seem to perform. I don't know why. It's annoying. It doesn't matter what team they put out. I'm getting sick and tired of certain defensive ends always getting the quarterback. I don't like it. But I think we're capable of getting 4 wins out of that. Carolina's going to be a tough one. The Bucks are very much Jekyll and Hyde right now. I'm pretty sure. I would love to say we're going to sweep the Saints. That's one thing I just love. I'd love to
Fingers
sweep
crossed.
them, but Carolina's going to be the one to beat as well. Especially, I mean, especially when you consider that last season they had. I spoke to some of their fans; they had no expectations whatsoever last year, and to do what they done last season was very, very good. And I think they're going to be, up there again. But I mean, overall, we all know that the division's not the best in terms of how it is, but it's there for the taking. So we've got a step authority now. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've gone and done something now.
Absolutely.
Like I say, it's very frustrating and very aggravating seeing all that gold and black on. So.
And as you say, like Carolina's done much the same as we have. They've raised their floor, bringing in Lee Hunter with pairing Tit McMillan now with Chris Brazell. So if you're going to go with the Terrell brothers, they better have taken their Wheaties before we play Carolina. I'll put it that way. And well, how do you think we're going to play out against the rest of the NFC South this year? 4 wins, 5 wins? How do you feel?
I got us sweeping us out.
Ooh, that would be nice.
I got us sweeping us out, man. I think we had an opportunity to do it last year with bad coaching, and I think if we got anywhere near good coaching this year, we gonna sweep the South, man. Because I don't see everybody got good, yes, but as far as coaching wise, I don't see a coach that's better than our coaching staff right now. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I got us going 14-3, 10-7 at the worst. That's if everything go wrong, 10-7. I don't see us not winning more than 10 games. I can't see it. Not what I'm looking at. But
and again, we need a disrespect to say 5 to 7 wins. It's just appalling.
Yeah, they just playing without top at this point. 5 to come on now. They playing without top. We had 8 wins with bad coaching the last couple of years, man. Come on, man. Y'all stop playing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm more than happy at 10-7 with 10-7. I'd be happy with that. That'd be great.
Yeah. 10-7 just sounds just fine to me. I think 10 wins takes the South as well.
10 wins. That's just if everything don't go right. That's 10 wins.
Yeah.
But I'm really leaning towards that 14-3. That's what I'm leaning toward.
I would love it, man. We just need to come out and punch some people in the mouth, play some fundamental football, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, as I say, it's been good kind of chopping it up on Falcons last hour with you guys. But do either of you guys have anything else in terms of the Dirty Birds before we kind of move on to some of the other Atlanta teams before we?
Well, considering that my partner's she's all California of her team. She's a 49ers fan, so I'm looking forward to week 7.
Oh, that's going to be fun. So what you're telling us is no watch party week 7 because you'll be busy.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun household right there.
Yeah, because you're new, I've not told you the faux pas that my missus made. So she's an artist, okay? Then I says to her, pick an NFL team. It doesn't have to be the Falcons. Pick an NFL team. And she goes, well, I don't know. And I went, right, okay, what logos do you like? And she went, well, I've always been drawn to the Fleur de Lis. I just walked out the room. I was like, nah, this conversation's over. I said to my co-host Des, and he's like, nah, that's grounds for divorce, mate.
No NFC South. Don't pick none of these 3 teams here. Just pick the other ones. Don't pick the NFC South.
To be honest, when I gave her the sheet of logos, I should have just put red pen through it. Just nah, veto. Next time. Raymond agrees. He thinks 4-2 against the South. In an ideal world, I do not care as long as we get out and into the playoffs. That will do me nicely. But yeah, I mean, let's get Dean caught up with some of the other Atlanta teams, because I know you rep the Hawks and the Braves, but you've been so absorbed in Arsenal right now that you've kind of not done a lot of due diligence. But I'll let you take this one. So the Hawks have extended their head coach Quinn Snyder. A 133 and 135 tenure in Atlanta. Just in 2025-26, he led them to a 46-36 record. Southeastern Divisional champs, and of course their first Eastern Conference playoffs in the last 3 years as well. Yes, we did get absolutely hammered in that last game. But how are you feeling about retaining Snyder? Do you think we're in a good place with these Hawks going into the draft cycle and all that good stuff, or how are you feeling, Will?
Well, I'm all right with them extending him right now. I really want to see him with a capable center. When we get a capable center in here, I want to see what he can do with this team, because the team changed drastically halfway through the season, and he still was able to lead them to the playoffs instead of a play in. He led them to a top 6 seed. You know what I'm saying? And they changed players heavily in the middle of the season, dog. You got rid of one of your top scorers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for him to lead this team where he led them at, and for us to be undersized in the playoff and to be the only team until last night to win against the Knicks, I think I want to see him with a capable center. When we have a big guy that likes to bang down there, you know what I'm saying? So, and when we can get Onyeka Okongwu to the power forward position, which is his natural position, he don't need to be at center. He need to be at power forward. And then you can move Jalen Johnson at small forward to where you can have CJ McCollum coming off the bench as a 6-man. Now that's strengthening your team. That strengthens your team even more. If you got CJ McCollum coming off the bench as a leadership type player and as a scorer, that strengthens your bench. So I'm saying, like, we get that legitimate center to where we can put Onyeka Okongwu at that power forward position. Then we cooking with fire. You know what I'm saying? We cooking with fire there. Then we
that was my point
center,
too.
The backup center that got hurt. You know what I'm saying? The big white boy that got hurt.
Yeah,
that's your backup center. Now you can move the guy we drafted. Damn, what his name? Gaye can be moved to the 4 as your backup power forward. Now you strengthen your back. You got 12 guys that can actually come out there and put points on the board that create their own shots. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right. I feel like, as you say, we need a 7-footer in the draft, a true beast, like a Shaq, a dominant 7-footer who's going to command the rim.
He could be 6'11". I need a beast.
Yeah,
you
6'10" and a half.
He's not a beast. I mean, give me a Dennis Rodman type going box out motherfuckers if they bigger than him. Give me some. I need a beast down there.
They don't make them like D-Rod anymore. Like, they don't make them like that anymore, brother. I could say the same. Like, I was just watching some highlights of Larry Bird last night, and I was like, geez, that guy really was dynamite. Like, truly, just ridiculous. And the other part I got from the sword today, TL, is these Braves. So I don't know if you've caught many of the games over this season, Dean. But yeah, Braves are killing.
I've kept away from the Braves for a fair bit, and I thought, they're always there for me anyway. But so I keep my notifications with them on my phone. I look at the last 7 or 8 games they've been down, and they've just managed to come back. And then I thought, let me have a look a bit more and see what's going on here. And I thought, okay, you guys are doing quite okay. You guys are doing very, very well here. This is actually very, very good. I think there was a streak where I think someone gave me a stat where they've only lost, I think it was like 2 or 3 series in the entire season so far. So they seem to be sweeping a lot of teams aside, and they're doing it very, very well. I mean, okay, with baseball, things can change in an instant. We all know this, but the way they're going on right now, it's looking like they're very, very much unstoppable. And it's good to see. It's very, very good to see. I like it. It's very encouraging. So all I can say to the Braves is just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep doing it.
What I feel like has really pushed us through is obviously it's been off the big bats, essentially. So Ronald Acuna Jr. hit the streak at the right time. Mauricio Dubon, he's on a hot streak. You've had, obviously, Matt Olson as well playing a blinder. Some really good pitching as well. I feel like that bullpen is elite in Atlanta right now. It's the same concern as I have for my Falcons. I want them to stay healthy down the stretch, and then see what happens when the real baseball comes come the playoffs. But yeah, we're going to start doing more Braves content here, Des and I, some watch parties and some of that good stuff. So as I say, if you want to get more into the Braves, as I say, we've got your back. We'll keep some content coming out. So as I say, feel free to jump on. As I say, what we'll probably do, if you're happy to hang back, once we wrap the show, we can obviously be in the back room, and I'll keep you for an extra few minutes if you don't mind, just to chat about some things and some stuff. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing I wanted to do, but keep the questions coming in the meantime if you want to. But I don't know if you want to do any England watch parties, but as this is the Scottish Falcons channel, I did want to kind of do something that I'd promised. So yeah, with the World Cup starting this week, I want to make good on a promise, as I say. So all 3 Scotland games, I'm going to do live watch parties for. So that'll be for Scotland versus Haiti on Saturday. That's a late one for me, 2 a.m. So please come and keep your boy company. And then we have Scotland-Morocco on 19th of June and Scotland-Brazil on the 24th. So your boy's going to be there for all the misery that might bring. I'm used to that as a Falcons fan, so I mean, bring it on. It's been 28 years for Scotland. It's not like it is down south where you get every major tournament, so you let me enjoy it.
Hey man, I'm not looking forward to this World Cup right now, dude. Atlanta traffic finna be ridiculous, boy.
Oh yeah, it all depends.
As a truck driver, man, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really not.
Just count yourself lucky, man. I know Atlanta was in the shortlist to get Scotland versus Brazil. You do not want the Tartan Army descending on your city. It will cause standstills. Like, I'm not saying we travel aggressively. We love everyone and we have a great time. It's just we will put the city into standstill and drink a couple of your bars dry. So be forewarned.
You can't drink Atlanta dry. There's one thing you can't do.
We drank Munich dry. If we can do that, Atlanta should be no challenge. Have you seen the beers in Germany?
Hey man, the nightclub life we got down here, man. We got stuff everywhere. You want to drink? We got stuff everywhere. We got plenty for you.
You know what, brother? Like, as I say, I keep teasing to Des. We need to get over. So as I say, now that we've got a new brother to come over, when we come over, we're going to be rolling deep. So make sure you give us a warm welcome. You lay out the red and black carpet, and we'll be there
with the lemon pepper, wing. I got you.
You got it, brother. But I love like, to Dino's credit, he comes into the group chat and the first thing he says is, "If you like wings and mac and cheese, we're going to be just fine." And it was like, you know what? Say less. You'll be all right. Oh, you know how to represent. You know how we do. But yeah, I mean, as I say, it's been a great show with you guys. So I just want to kind of give out some flowers before we wrap things up. So just kind of what to look forward to going forward. As I say, we've got the World Cup coming up as well, but the recruitment drive's still on. So we want you to be a part of the Kilted Revolution into season 2 and beyond. You can ask the guys for testimonials now. You've seen and heard enough of my dulcet tones to know that I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, if you wanna come on and you want to earn your kilt, as your brother Dino has done, then you know what to do. Hit me up, get at Des, get at Miss Maggie for the Stateside guys. And as I say, just keep the love coming. There's going to be a lot more going forward. So we're expanding into the new channel, the Locker Room, as well, as we say. That's for everything non-Falcons. So you're more than welcome to join us on there as well, Dean. As I say, that'll be Braves, that'll be wrestling, some Hawks, just whatever floats our boat in the world of sport. So yeah, keep an eye on that, everybody. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. And before we do, I'm going to pass it around to the boys, and obviously they can tell you where you can find them. So Dino, if they want to keep the conversation coming, my brother, where can they find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Dino, Away Days. Days is spelled D-A-Z-E. You can also find me on TikTok as well, which is Away Days Sports. I do have Instagram, but I've still got to get that going, but it is still the same thing, Away Day Sports as well. And I do have it on Facebook as well, also the same, Away Day Sports.
Wonderful. And as I say, it's been amazing to share the panel with you for the first time. Hopefully it's not nearly the last, because as I say, Des and I are looking for someone to kind of do a bit more co-hosting and appearing on some more of the shows. So if you're liking the vibes, then we're happy to keep it rolling. Brother Will, much appreciated, brother. And brother Will, tell them where they can get at you, my man.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all can find me on Twitter and on YouTube at Will the Georgia Reaper. That's Will the DA Georgia Reaper. And catch me Wednesday nights on Everything Atlanta Sports at 7:05. And whatever AFN got going on, you know, they dropped the link and I got time. I'm up in there, man. Y'all already know. Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure as always, brother. And to that note as well, me and Will are going to be working together a lot more. I'm going to be joining him as co-host on, I guess you could call it the Willpower Hour now, but Everything Atlanta Sports on a Wednesday. So I'm throwing myself into the mix for that as well. So there's a lot of great content coming up. You'll catch me, here, there and everywhere. I've kind of embraced the new moniker of the Saltire Vampire, because if you're running late in Atlanta, then you never know when I may just appear. But if you want to get at me, I'm at Will the Thrill Waddle on YouTube, at Will Waddle WADL on X. I'm on Facebook too if you want to keep the conversation coming. But until then, most of all, we want to thank you. So whether you're Clydeside, Stateside or worldwide, wherever you're listening or watching around the world, thank you for spending the last hour and a quarter with us. We're going to be back real soon, either Thursday or Saturday, with some more Scottish Falcons and Friends content. But ladies and gentlemen, until then, remember always that we love our ATL. And before we wish you good night, Dirty Birds, Dino, as it's your first time here, keep an eye on the screen, because I'm going to flash up the close for you and I will let you take us home, brother. So bear with me while I get that for you. So yeah, good night, Dirty Birds. And Dino, take us home.
Guys, thank you very much for having me up. I know we didn't get to speak about them too tough, because I do like Major League Soccer, but Atlanta United, you need to do better. You need to do better. That's all I'm going to say about you.
Exactly.
Let's touch base on that. End on a cliffhanger. Way to go. This guy knows how to create content, man. He's leaving it on a cliffhanger. You want us to get into some Atlanta United? Leave the comments down in the chat. We can make that happen.
I know she might be watching, or she might watch it later on. To my partner, she is actually in the States. She is from Albuquerque. She's to my partner D, go New Mexico United, go Lobos as well, University of New Mexico. I'm a Dogs fan. I love Georgia, so I'm all Georgia for them. But yeah, all good to the Lobos as well.
No, you'll be just fine. Plenty of dirty dogs, man. But that, like as I say, nobody's perfect, so we're gonna have to fall out on Saturdays, because I'm a Longhorn, born and bred. That's it. So yeah, if you come back on a Saturday, there may be some tips. Just letting you know. But it's all in love. As I say, it's a dysfunctional family here, but it's a family nonetheless. So guys, thank you as always for joining us, and until next time, never forget that pain is international, but so is passion. Guys, we out. Yeah. Peace.